Week 2 is upon us. And the Tennessee Titans have not just a tough opponent, but the injury report is not looking great. We're going to break down this game and all of the matchups here on the Titan Bros Network. Good evening, people, Titans fans. It's week 2 already. It's nice. It is nice that football season's back, even though I will say just the whole, embarrassing loss that we had was not great. It was not great. But that said, we're going to try not to talk about last week. Who is we? It's my brother and I, Josiah.
Howdy, how's it going, son?
It's going. We are here, ready for week 2, and what's going to be a very tough Rams matchup, home game.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Going most likely 0-2, but here's the thing. I said this in the offseason. It's all about Cam Ward's development, but if we can't protect him, then I don't know how well he's gonna develop.
I mean, I agree. We can't even. We're gonna have trouble getting any kind of an idea on him. Because I do remember last year, this is how I used to start off all of our previews by talking about the people that have been for sure said that was out. There's 2 people. It's our first and second round pick from last year, J.C. Latham and T'Vondre Sweat.
That's a big blow on both sides of the ball.
I agree. And with their, I don't remember, both their guards had high ankle sprains. I think they're high ankle sprains, and they were both hurt. But I don't remember if one's starting, the other's not. They both are, both of them aren't. But even if they are starting, they're going to be hurt. So this was a game that I was hoping Big Jeff and old T-Sweat was going to eat. But now it's not looking like that's going to be the case. That said, I do like our depth there. And by that, I mean like Sebastian Joseph Day.
I like Sebastian Day.
He's good. Fine. We kind of give him a bigger payday. We're like a 1-year, $8 million deal. So, not a bad change there for him.
I will say this. I know the Rams' offensive line has looked a little shaky last week. Of course, it was against the Texans. So maybe we can – and Matthew Stafford with his bad back, and he's just old. He's not going to move well. Yeah. So hopefully we can create pressure on him. Now, Grant, we have a bad pass rush, so we'll see how that goes.
I think last week with Bo Nix is what we tried to do is push up front and force him to go out because our edge rushers didn't look like they were making a hard effort to actually get inside. It almost looked like we tried to – strategy. I thought so too. I think we tried to pressure Bo Nix to roll into the edge rushers' waiting, loving arms.
So we'll see if we'll do that again. And I would say, though, they have last year at least, and I think last week they did good. They have a great pass rush. So I expect both quarterbacks to be on the ground a lot.
Probably. Last week was a slow, ugly defensive game for the Titans and the Broncos, but honestly, it was a slow, ugly defensive game for the Texans-Rams game too.
Even slow and ugly.
Yeah, I agree.
9-14, I think it was.
Yeah, so I don't know what the under/over is on whatever betting app you folks like to use, but I would probably say take the under here. I think Calvin Ridley's going to have a much better game. I think the offense is going to maybe look a little better this time, but I also feel like there's just going to be so many drives where it's 3rd and 7 and we get sacked. And then that's just how the drive ends. I just think it's going to happen a bunch.
Yeah. Man, I just, win or lose, I just want to see Cam Ward have some more throws. You're like, oh, that is why he's the first round. And last week, and I don't blame him, by the way. I don't blame him, but I just feel like last week we didn't get to see him a chance to do many drop backs and just throw it a beautiful pass. And again, not really blaming him, but I just feel like we didn't see much of that at all.
No, I agree with you. It was, and when we did, there's too many drops. Just
Yeah,
too many
those
drops.
types of drops.
Like there's a lot of debates on these are hard catches and him. But there's way too many times I just saw the football hit the wide receiver's hands or tight end and then hit the ground afterwards. Like there was just too much of that. So I do think Calvin Ridley's gonna have a bounce back game, even if it's just like 5 catches for 72 yards. I don't think he's gonna have all the drops that he had last week. Alec Iobanner left some yards out there. There was the one that he actually did catch with his elbow on the ground because apparently Callahan doesn't know that you have to have a foot. In his defense, I didn't know either. I thought it would have been like an elbow and a foot. But he clearly said, because there's the whole thing going on that he was just trying to cover for somebody who said not to challenge it. But in that post-game interview, he clearly said he had an elbow down, but you need to have elbow and a foot. But then later comes back and says he knows the rule when clearly he doesn't. But that's a whole nother sideshow that I'm not really trying to get into right now. But with that would have been a big explosive play with Alec Iobanner. So he was basically this close to having like 60, 70 yards last week and kind of having a break onto the NFL scene. So if he continues to do that, we challenge it when we should challenge it. And
Don't
if
drop it, Campbell gives it to you though. An easy one.
Yeah, true. But Calvin Ridley, if he erases the drops, I think our passing attack could be better. But I'll be honest with you, I am just so worried about the whole offensive line situation.
Yeah, I'm hoping this hip injury. It just feels like an injury that's gonna nag him his whole. I was gonna say career. That's not what I meant to say. This whole season, and I hope it's not.
Here's the thing: if it's a hip strain, the only thing that's going to make it go away is rest. So maybe I should be encouraged that we didn't put him on an IR today, but I almost wonder if we shoulda. Because he was out for like 2 weeks, wasn't he? 2, maybe 3 weeks with the hip thing and hurts it first game back. So I almost feel like we should just put him on the IR, bring him back in week 5, make him miss. Well, I think he has to miss 4 games. So he'd miss week 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I almost feel like that's what we should have done.
I just feel like once again, we have some bad tackle play right now.
Yeah, well, apparently J.C. Latham heard it sooner rather than later, so I'll cut him a little slack. Because that one sack he allowed was so weird. It's like he didn't want to move, and I think it's because he's hurting. So I'll cut J.C. Latham a little bit of slack, but sadly, Dan Moore did not have a good game.
He looked like garbage, and then the guy to replace J.C. Latham looked even worse.
And in the second half, they sent the house. They were blitzing a lot, and we were not picking up the blitz.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's a protection issue. I don't know if that's a.
To be honest, though, with our offensive line the way it is, I feel like they should be just comfortable with just not blitzing. Just doing the guys.
But at the same time, one of the best ways to beat a rookie quarterback is just blitzing him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my biggest fear. If we were doing like a segment, what's your biggest fear of this game, and or biggest reason why you think we'll lose? Is they do have Jared Verse, who was fantastic last year. Actually, wait a second. He was the defensive player last year, defensive rookie last year. I think he was, and Bo Nix was the rookie offensive player last year. So we've already gone against both those. So, anyways, Jared Verse probably gonna destroy us. That's my biggest reason and cause for concern would be our O line versus their D line. Thankfully, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore, but still.
Yeah, you probably took it right out of my thoughts, but I say the same thing. I just feel like Campbell is going to get beat up pretty good. He's not going to be able to show us exactly his skill set because he'll be running for his life, getting hit. It's a tough 2 weeks for him to go against these two defenses.
As what I'm really hoping is the Colts look mortal tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
because if the Colts just look amazing again, and that's our week 3 matchup, I'll be like, so we're 0-3, and for some reason the Colts are good because all of a sudden Daniel Jones is amazing. Now, I didn't watch Daniel Jones' game. I saw his stats, and apparently they never punted. So, I mean, I've seen that, but like I didn't see any highlights. For all I know, he may have been hitting wheel routes or easy things like that, and playmakers were making a play with the ball, which if that's the case, that's still a problem in of itself. But I'm hoping Daniel Jones wasn't back there just wheeling and dealing, because that's the last thing we need is the Colts to suddenly be good. They haven't been good since that one random season with Phillip Rivers.
Well, I will also say, though, the defense looked good. So that's something we have to keep an eye on in week 2 to see if the defense looks like that again.
Yeah, but here we are looking ahead, already chalking up this game as a loss. And I do see a path where we could mess around and win this game because
Well,
they didn't score many points last week.
yes,
Neither did we.
When you predict a low-scoring defensive game like there's always a chance to win.
All it takes is a fumble, scoop, and score, something like that. It
always comes down to a play or two. Kind of this game of the Broncos went down to a play or two. Mm-hmm. But right now, in his year in a game experience, Callahan's teams do not make that play or two to win games.
No, sadly.
And that's one thing I'll say. I need to see Callahan to do so much better today. I didn't think a head coach could lose you a game as much as Callahan lost us the Broncos game.
Yeah, that was his 18th game coaching. I would say it is his worst game by honestly a good bit. He was
just not bad.
Good. He was docile.
Play calling.
He was docile and conservative when he needed to be aggressive, like on 3rd and 10 and goal line. He runs up the middle. Not goal line. It was red zone, I think, or close to red zone. And then when we were backed up, 4th and 1s, he just punted it away. And then when we were backed up on our own 4 or whatever it was right before the half, he just throws the ball 3 plays in a row.
Didn't challenge it when he should have.
Didn't challenge it when he should have, whether he knew the rules or not. He didn't really do a whole lot right. It was by far Callahan's worst game.
It was actually
out on him.
Someone said something and I agreed, and he's not even a Titan fan. I was just listening to this sports show, and again, they're not a Titan show, but they're talking with Cam Ward, and they're asking, what do you think about his first game? And someone says, I want to say this. I think we need to put a pin in Cam Ward's career and don't judge anything he does, good or bad. Don't say nothing until he gets a new head coach, because I think his head coach is sabotaging this team, and he's so bad at trying to get them to lose. I'm like, that was a horrible game. I know.
But yeah, well, if that's the only game you've ever seen of him, then you could absolutely draw a conclusion from that.
There's probably 2 things. One, that probably his first game he ever watched, and he did terrible. And also, his record is 3-15. So there's that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about it. If Brian Callahan's our good head coach for us, and he's our coach for the next 10 years, it'll take a long time before he ever gets a winning record as a head coach because.
You are what your record is, and right now his record is he's won 3 games in 18 games.
Here's the thing: I think there's a lot of good coaches that get fired early. In a whole nother conversation, I think there are so many good coaches that never get a second chance, or they get a short leash on their first chance because they never had a good quarterback. And also, I'm going to go ahead and throw out this. And this is probably a hot take. I think there are a lot of coaches they're just fine, but because they've had an elite coach that our quarterback that they're paired with for a long time, it makes them look better than they really were.
No, that's possible.
Yeah. But like Sean McDermott, he's had Josh Allen his whole coaching career. How would he look?
Tyrod Taylor before that, but yeah, go ahead.
Which means they were bad. Oh, did he?
Yeah, because they broke a huge record, and then they lost the first playoff wildcard game. But I remember it was a big story because at that point they never made the playoffs, and they broke it with Tyrod Taylor.
Or like Zach Taylor, the Bengals. He had a horrible season. They gave him the number 1 overall pick. They got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was being kind of mid-ish in his second season, and then he gets hurt, tears ACL, he's gone, and then they're just terrible. So he had 2 terrible years with I don't remember, was it Andy Dalton, I guess? Had 2 terrible seasons, one with Andy Dalton, one with a Joe Burrow, then somebody else stepped in for the rest of the year. I don't remember who it was. Might have been actually Brandon Allen, funny enough. But then he didn't actually start doing good until Joe Burrow's second year, and it was Joe Burrow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for all we know, if he were to actually have, any cast of characters, like just all the random people the Colts decide to march out every single year, he might just not be that good. I don't know. But that's completely irrelevant. We're talking about, we're talking about Zach Taylor, and this is supposed to be a Titans-Rams preview. So we just talked about what we're most terrified of. So I know last time you were very dramatic. I asked this question. I said, what if the Titans were to win this game? What's your path? What do you think the path is for them to get there? And your answer was, it's impossible. When it was very much, it was just so dramatic because it was very much possible. It was very possible that we won last week. In fact, the Bo Nix is like, I'm feeling generous. I need y'all to win this game. I'm going to just keep throwing picks. No, he actually was awful that game. He had like 4 nice throws, but then he had some throws.
I would say this. I think one reason why I got so mad the Titans lost because we predicted they would lose. And I
Mhm.
think the reason I got so mad because the Broncos, I've never seen a team that we go against trying to give the game up. I see Titans try to give up a lot of games, but I've never seen us go against an opponent that's just like, please take this game, and we just would not take the game.
Yeah, that game was literally ours for the taking. I mean, most of the game we kept on taking turns, kind of having like a 1-point lead or behind by 2 points, or just things like
Turned the
that.
ball over 4 times. You gotta win that. And I would say I think Cam Ward is actually his worst drive was 2 sacks. Like as a rookie, you can't do that. And they have one that he's just
No.
running back. Like that's unacceptable. At least get 3 points out of it, at least. And we got
Yeah.
no points. Like that was Cam Ward's to me his worst drive. And he actually didn't even throw the ball once, but that was his worst drive.
He didn't. Right. Back to the question at hand, though.
Yeah.
If the Titans are going to beat the Rams, in your humble opinion, what do you think that path is? Like, how do you think that comes about?
Keep Stafford on his butt.
Punches back.
Punches back, bring pressure, but yeah, keep hitting him where he will feel uncomfortable. He'll probably try and get rid of the ball super fast. So you keep everything in front of you. You clamp down on it. So on offense, they don't score much points. On offense, they score 12-ish points. And then protect Cameron just enough to hit some nice throws deep, get actually the first touchdown of the season, and win this game 14-12.
How about 16-12, where we get a touchdown and 3 field goals?
I don't know if we're going. Yeah, no,
I like the game plan Denard Wilson called, because Denard Wilson last year was like, we're going to be in the face every single play. We're playing man. That's the only way we play. Press coverage, blah, blah, blah. And he started off that way, but maybe it's because he didn't trust his backups, because Cheeto was out for almost the entire year. L'Jarius Sneed was out almost the entire year. And we started playing real loosey-goosey on him again last year. This year, he went right back to his old ways in a good way. And we had Sneed, we had L'Jarius. Nope, I just said Sneed West. We had Sneed, we had Baker, Roger McCreary. What's the guy who did all the penalties? Jarvis Brownlee. They were up close, and I liked it. And I like what you said. We got to put him on his hiney. Big Jeff, we need the big plays from you, not the big plays that come with the yellow flag there. But we need you to put this guy on his butt. He's not very mobile. Even at his best, youngest, Stafford wasn't really a mobile quarterback. So put him on his butt, make him throw before he's ready, but that's why I want us to continue playing close and man. They have Puka Nacua, good, very good wide receiver. Sean McVay knows how to use him.
Davante Adams.
And they also have old Davante Adams, but he still had like 50-something yards last week as his first game as a Ram. He's still got some juice. Faux show.
That's going to be tough for our secondary for sure.
It is.
Bradley Jr., please stop holding people.
Yeah, get a little less sticky with your hands. Like, putting your hand on somebody is one thing, but it's just too much pulling.
Too much
pulling. Like when you pull, you see the jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's some calls that I'm like, but then he also had one that I'm like, oh, that's a pass interference, and he got away with it.
I think one he got away with, and the rest are like, we're tired of we're gonna look like we're targeting, and we just keep throwing flags on him.
I think there was some of that. So I just feel like he had a bad day. And I didn't like his response to that, to be honest.
I didn't either. I didn't like his body language in his interview at all.
Yeah.
But that's a side conversation. I like your idea of putting Stafford on his butt, making him throw before he's ready. And we need to marry that with another strong defensive game plan from Denard Wilson, where we're up in their grill, checking him at the line. So if he's having to throw soon, guess what? Our guys are right there. And either they make a play on the ball, they knock it down, or if it's completion, just tackle him for a 4-yard gain. You feel me?
Yep.
I do. I mean, I agree with you that if we're doing score predictions, actually, let's just go ahead.
I said that what I said 14-12 is not what I think my prediction scores will be.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Let's go ahead and make because we're almost 20 minutes in. Let's go ahead and make our score prediction.
Okay, I got
Take it away.
17-6 Rams.
6.
Yes.
So you like J.C. Latham that much? You think J.C. Latham's gonna make us have a worse game against they're a good defense, but not as Broncos defense good?
I think, yeah, I do 100%.
Interesting. I think we lose also. I think we got our first touchdown of the season. Wow, it's crazy.
That's not supposed to be a bold prediction, but like we score our first touchdown.
Yeah, I think we lose 10-20.
10, 20, okay. So you got
And I
extra
could
more, but
see it being in the fourth quarter where we're down 10-13 and our defense has done a great job of keeping us in it. We have to punt because we got sacked again. We punted away. There's like 7 minutes left on the clock, and they just have this long, painful drive where they just go down the field, score a touchdown, then now suddenly it's 20-10. I'm like, it doesn't even matter anymore.
yeah, I just I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Like I could see not many either team's getting over 20 points, but I just think they're going to get just enough to win. And I don't think we're going to do very well. I think Cam Ward, I hate to say this because it's not about stats. It's not. But, Cam Ward, I want him to do well. But I could see him easily have another game, 11 of 25, 126 yards, 0 touchdowns and a pick. And I can see that stat line. Again, because he's going to be thrown on his back foot. He's going to be getting destroyed. And I just like – and then, so he's in 2 games, he's going to be like 41% completions and 1 pick, no touchdowns. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm not even blaming him, to be honest. I'm not completely saying, oh, he just sucks.
Yeah, I will say on offense, another key to victory, if we're doing, our keys to victory. One of my keys to victory for the Titans would be the quick passing game.
Yeah.
Like, put him in shotgun, let him snap, set, throw. We need a lot of that. And if there's going to be any longer developing plays, chip help from the tight ends. Tony Pollard needs to pass pro. Julius Chestnut's pretty good at pass protection. So, honestly, even bringing Julius Chestnut, give him a bigger role. Because I think they said Khalil Mullings was doubtful. And, obviously, Tajay Spears is still out. Mm-hmm. So, it could be a heavy dose of Julius Chestnut. And he's actually pretty good at pass protection. So, don't just leave our 5 versus their rush. You know what I'm saying? That can't be the plan. If it is, then we have to do quick routes, quick passing game.
And I think with Cam Ward, nope, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I had it, and then I was listening to you, and I completely forgot it. You just astounded me with your wisdom.
I do that sometimes. Astound myself with my own wisdom.
Oh, yeah. I want to say this. I want to see, and I don't think this might be the game to do it with no J.C. Latham, with a good defense. I want to see our offense, our run game to show some kind of life. It was pretty bad, I think.
Yeah, honestly, our running game might have been worse than our passing game.
Yeah.
I don't think we ran the ball good at all.
Decent runs, but my day's decent one. I mean, like 5 yards, but yeah, it was pretty much a give up play.
They were. There's so many first downs where we would run the ball and then it'd be 2nd and 10. I'm like, yay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Solid. It's almost like he wasn't sure what play he wanted to run yet. So he's like, all right, just go ahead and run it up the middle while I think about something else so we can think of our next play that I actually want to do. It's kind of like it felt like half the time.
Yeah. And some of that's Tony Pollard's fault. And some of that, like, our offensive line was not creating holes at all.
Our offensive line didn't get any push. None. Yeah, it was not a good game for our run game, which is weird.
Hold on to the ball. Don't fumble.
I can't quit yelling.
It's past bedtime. He's old.
It is past my bedtime. I've been up for like 17 hours, 18 hours. I think it was my 3rd yawn on the show. I apologize. I agree. Pollard did not have a good game. He had that one great play as Cam Ward's first pass where Cam Ward's moving through arm tackles and pops it over and he gets like 28 yards. That was a good play by Pollard. Besides that, I think he's not a power back, and there was no running lanes, and then he fumbled, and it was not a good day for our run attack at all. Which that's what makes me feel sad for Cameron Ward is when you have no run game, no pass protection, and the wide receivers are dropping. I'm like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say.
Like, it's too early to say this, but I look at this team like this is a team right here with the coach that we have, the players we have, that you're gonna just destroy Cam Ward's confidence / just ruin a guy before it even starts.
Here's the thing: I don't think you could ruin Cam Ward's confidence.
That part is probably true.
But if it's possible to kill his development, I guess.
Yeah.
As of now, we've only got a 1-game sample size, but at the same time, that's all we have to react to. As of now, we are absolutely seemingly doing all we can to hurt him. Because I'm just watching Cameron snap the ball, gets sacked. Next play, snaps the ball. He makes a great read, great throw, guys, drop. And I'm just like, why are we not helping our rookie quarterback out. The guy's trying. He's being fearless, but he's just getting sacked. People fumbling, people dropping. I'm like, this is sloppy. This is sloppy. Because if we hadn't done just one of those 3 bad things, we could have won. We should have won the game last week.
I agree.
But yeah, there we go. I got Titans losing 10-20, and I was dropping 0-2.
I got 17-6.
Yeah, it's crazy, brother.
Is Cam Ward going to finally throw? Now, in my predictions, I'm going to say no. But is Cam Ward going to finally throw his first touchdown? And when I say first touchdown, I mean no preseason touchdown, not a touchdown this regular season.
No.
And I know it sounds great, and I'm not overreacting, but I'm like, you're the first overall pick. Shouldn't you have had a touchdown by now? I know some of that's because Callahan didn't play you enough. I know some of that's because your receivers suck. But at the same time, I'm like, you're the first overall pick, buddy. You're not supposed to be week 2 when we haven't even seen you throw a touchdown yet.
Yeah, but I'm sure you remember it being discussed this week, I think on AZ Sports, that Bo Nix was like week 4 before he finally threw his first touchdown pass.
I knew it was,
and
I knew the first 2 weeks he did it.
Yeah, and he was our second.
29 or 8, whatever.
29. I think he ended up throwing 29, and he didn't throw a touchdown for the first 4 weeks of football. That's and crazy. He ended up being the AFC or the rookie of the year. So there's hope. There's hope. Plus, I personally don't predict that he won't throw. I think he'll throw his first touchdown and his first pick of his career.
That's fair. I can see that.
Yeah. I want to see some wild throws, though.
Me too. That's why it's the weirdest thing. Like, I want to see something that made me say, that's a good throw.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will. So, is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, so tighten up. Let's go get those Rams and improve 1-1.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if we could pull an upset here, but I think we had our pull an upset possibility last week.
Yeah, that was our chance.
That was our chance. Because if we had to somehow pull that out last week, even with all the ugliness, and we'd be 1-0, and then we'd lose this one to 1-1, I'd still feel hopeful 1-1 going against the Colts. But I feel like there is always that chance that we just get beat 23-10, 23-6, 23-9, something like that. And then we start getting a little over dramatic and thinking our season's over already, which in all honesty, we probably knew our season was over before we even started, but I just wanted to hold on to hope as long as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I guess that's it. I guess that's our show. It's kind of a shorter one, slightly shorter because our Fridays was booked. Saturday was basically booked all day until tonight. We just been busy little girls, but, finally got our preview in. Let us know what you think the score is going to be, how badly you think we're going to get beat. I guess that's all I have. Tighten up. Peace out. And all that jazz.